Sit back, relax, and enjoy, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
It's not gonna happen, and Daniel McMillan,
Pennsylvania native, kept here winning here at Pocono.
Third win of the season, and win the championship.
Ryan Benjamin with the last lap pass.
And he is going to score the victory in the Minute Maid 300.
Salmon Oskin, third win of the season.
He's gonna get it and only leads 3 laps today!
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is the LCQ in the 2020 NR2003 Big One for Team NOFSRL. 11 drivers here at the Pensacola International Speedway, and only the winner at the end of this 20-lap race will advance on to next weekend's main event for the NR2003 Big One here from Pensacola. And we've already had 4 drivers advance on from last week's heats. Those are Josh King, Owen Miles, Stuart Gratton, and Colton Yo. Those guys are not in today's event because they're already moving on to the main event next weekend. As for the other 11 drivers, they're going to have to battle out 20 laps here to see who gets in. Pretty straightforward and simple. It's a 20-lap race, no pit stops. If a caution comes out, then we'll line it back up and have a restart, so if a wreck does happen, most likely we will get a caution. Have to see how that all goes down, but it's pretty simple. You gotta win the race, and that's it. No second place, third place guys advance on, just the winner here from the Pensacola International Raceway. And we're gonna get these guys to roll off here from the Pensacola International Speedway. Only the winner advances on. Who will it be at the end of 20 laps? Thomas Troxel on the pole position for this LCQ is alongside the number 60 machine driven by Nikolai Sykes. Row number 2, we got ourselves the number 57 of John Andrews, starting to the inside of Braden Perez and the 67. Number 70, Trey Wright, to the inside of Ethan Lewis. Nicholas Samedillo and Matt Tuck in row number 4. Zachary Fitzwater and Brady Wilmington in row number 5. And then the 55 machine, driven by Jamison Thal, rounds out the field here. 11 drivers, only the winner advances on after 20 laps. And cautions are turned on, so if a wreck occurs and it is deemed worthy of a caution, because sometimes these guys can wreck and they don't throw out the yellow. That could happen considering the small field that we have in this race. But if it's deemed worthy of a caution, we will have a yellow flag if necessary. No pit stops in the event, like we mentioned. So these guys can race the entire 20 laps on the 1 tank of fuel. Of course, next weekend, it is the main event for the NR2003 Big One over on the NIRA Channel. Huge thanks to Nathan Stapleton for putting this whole thing on. And we're definitely looking forward to see how it all goes down for the main event. Definitely have a lot of great drivers already advanced on, including Josh King, Owen Miles, Stuart Gratton, and Colton Yo from the NOFSRL. We'll have to see who joins them here at the end of 20 laps here from the Pensacola Super Speedway. I think I've given this track, a different name 4 different times. I've called it the Pensacola Motor Speedway, the Pensacola Raceway, the Pensacola International Speedway, which is what it's actually called in the Pensacola Super Speedway. Either way, we're in Pensacola, fictional racetrack, loosely based off the Coca-Cola Super Speedway, less banking, but it's generally the same shape as the Coca-Cola Super Speedway. Definitely an interesting racetrack here, and we're definitely looking forward to see how this LCQ plays out. Here we go, Thomas Troxel and the number 60 of Nikolai Sykes, a couple of Chick-fil-A Cup Series rookies coming in this season. Of course, Troxel has won on the Super Speedway before this year. Will he do it again here today? Green flag is out here at Pensacola. And already, 3 wide to the inside. There goes the number 57 machine of John Andrews. And Andrews has also won a Chick-fil-A Cup Series race at Talladega before. We'll have to see if that plays in his favor. Same with Nicholas Samedillo. Top 3 guys, as a matter of fact, the top 3 guys are the last 3 Talladega winners in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Very unique little tidbit of information right there, as the number 54 moves to the inside there of the 67. It will be John Andrews, though, holding on to the race lead to the inside of the 64 machine of Thomas Troxel. Lap number 1 is going to be led by John Andrews at the stripe. He's going to hold on to it here at Pensacola for now. But it's a 20-lap race, twice as long as the heat races were last week. I think eventually it's going to cycle out, and we're going to see one guy dominate this event. The big question is, when will the cycling stop, and who will be the driver in the lead once it stops, and have the advantage of possibly making it on? Sam Medeo going to take the race lead away there from John Andrews. Here comes the 59 of Zachary Fitzwater, 55 machine. Jamison Thal, he started in the 11th position. There he is on the inside of John Andrews. Great run there for the 55 machine. And he's going to push the god of NR 2003 himself, Zachary Fitzwater, who has won more races than anybody else in NR 2003. We'll have to see if he can make it onto the main event of the big one. A lot of shuffling going on back in here. Number 66 there of Ethan Lewis. Moving to the inside of Brady Wilmington and the 57 of John Andrews. Now Jamison Thal has it 3 wide to the inside. Now with more cars in the field here, I think it may be a little bit easier to make a pass for the race lead. You got more help. You got the availability of more help behind you. And I think that's why we've seen more passing so far on this one than we did see in the heats. Of course, in the rookie heat, Josh King led every single lap. We've already had 3 lead changes so far in this one. Number 66 going to move his way to the inside. There goes Ethan Lewis. Looking to the inside of Jamison Thal. He's going to bring the 60 machine and Nikolai Sykes. He started on the outside pole along with him there. Number 70, Trey Wright, and the 64 of Thomas Troxel, all on the inside lane. But the number 66 going to lead lap number 3. It'll definitely be interesting to see how it all goes down here at Pensacola. Ethan Lewis there, number 66, trying to keep these guys at bay. Of course, as the tires were out especially, that's where it gets interesting. Number 70, Trey Wright, going to look to the inside as well. But all 11 of these guys in the field still with an opportunity at getting the race victory. Fitzwater almost looking 4 wide on the outside there. And you got the number 67, Braden Perez, moving to the inside in the back of the field. Now here comes the 70 machine. That car driven by Trey Wright, going to take it away from the 66 and cycling back to the front. It's the number 64 of Thomas Troxel. And Troxel is looking to get to the inside of the 70 machine, but he's not going to be able to do it. A good run on the outside there for Ethan Lewis. Nicholas Samedeo at the back of the field right now in the number 54. Side by side for the race lead between Trey Wright and Ethan Lewis. And now we're going to start seeing this outside lane pick up a little bit, I think. As the tires that were out, that outside lane gets a little bit better. And Ethan Lewis going to hold on down the backstretch. Going to get a great run off the corner. And we'll have to see if he can get the advantage on Trey Wright for this race lead. 53 to the inside. Back in the field for 3 wide action. That's Matt Tuck in the 53. Earlier today in the IndyCar race at Portland, didn't quite have the best of runs, wrecked out on the first lap of the race. It's been a tough run for him so far in the only other series he drives in on Napa Fam, that being the Haas IndyCar series. But he would love to represent NOFSRL in the big one coming next week. But here comes Thomas Troxel. He started on the pole position. He's to the inside of Trey Wright for the race lead here. Lap number 6 of 20 now. A quarter of the way through the LCQ here at Pensacola. Matt Tuck, Nicholas Samedeo helping each other out. Samedeo making it 4 wide. This is the first time we've seen that here in NOFSRL heat action. Ethan Lewis really getting shuffled out of line right there, and he's going to fall way to the back of the pack. They're really trying to work that inside lane. Zachary Fitzwater down below the double yellow line. And Fitzwater has help there from Jamison Thal. It looks like he's not going to be able to make it 3 wide there for that position. Trey Wright and Thomas Troxel still in their respective positions. But that was a really tight moment right there for those guys. Here comes Samedeo up to second. And you may notice, for the first time ever, we have a scrolling ticker. But at the same time, you may notice that it might not accurately represent what's going on at the racetrack. The problem is it scrolls very slowly. So it gives you a general idea, and when we implement this in other races in the NOFSRL, specifically on NABAFAM, it's going to try to give you guys a better idea of where you are in the racetrack without me having to go through the traditional UIE ticker. However, because it does scroll so slowly, it doesn't update right away once they finish a lap, so you might get a order for the race from a lap 2 laps prior to the one that's being run. So just keep that in mind It does update very slowly, but it is to kind of help you guys get an idea of where everybody is on the racetrack, especially in races where there isn't much passing and we have multiple cars in the field. A lot of guys there, they kind of hang in the back. You really never see them all race long, and we never really see them on the leaderboard either. They get an idea of where they are on the racetrack. This new ticker is to help you guys out in figuring out where you are on the racetrack. Here we go. So we're going to get some more single file here at Pensacola. Sam Adio takes the race lead away. Zachary Fitzwater right behind him. How about this? Two of the most experienced and champion drivers, I should say, in this field. Going to be put 4 wide as Ethan Lewis and Jamison Thal make it 4 wide. And we have yet to see this cycle end here at Pensacola. They keep on cycling for this race lead as now Ethan Lewis moves to the inside and takes it away from the 55 of Jamison Thal. Of course, he had a little bit of help right there from Jamison Thal. Number 67 machine of Braden Perez as well on this inside. Matt Tuck is here, and just like that, Sam Adio went from being the race leader to being the last driver in the pack. He went from 1st to 11th in 1 lap. That's how wild this place is. It's a little bit different than the Coca-Cola Super Speedway. It's a little bit more tame than Coca-Cola, but that outside lane still does not work out too well, just like it does at the Coca-Cola Super Speedway, and we are definitely seeing the effects of that here at the Pensacola Super Speedway. Number 67, Braden Perez, and it's very, very interesting. Perez almost led that lap. They almost swapped positions from last to first there on that lap, and things are really getting wild here. You got to remember, only the race winner makes it onto the Big One main event. These guys, they are going after it to be that one driver. Everybody else goes home. Their Big One chances and their Big One hopes are done if they don't win this race. Comes Nikolai Sykes. Nicholas Sam Adio back on that inside lane. Brady Wilmington. We've really yet to mention Brady Wilmington yet in this one. The number 62 machine helping out Sam Adio on the inside lane. And it's pretty much just a cycle until we get to the finish of the race. It's going to be very, very interesting to see who pulls it off here. But we really can't pinpoint a driver who is going to get this race victory quite yet. Here comes Sam Adio. He's got some help there in that inside lane. I think a lot of it at this point, these guys are experimenting, seeing what they can do. Brady Wilmington making it 4 wide right there. Trying to get an idea of what they can do in their respective situation on the last lap. We saw what happened with Sam Adio, who was leading and then went all the way to the back of the field in 1 lap. Braden Perez pretty much did the opposite. Trey Wright, or should I say Ethan Lewis, excuse me. Now trying to get that outside lane to work to his favor, and he's doing a pretty good job at that right now. He's got Sam Adio and Brady Wilmington. Of course, those guys look pretty fast. 54-62, a couple of really fast guys on the racetrack right here at Pensacola right now. And they are working that outside lane very well. If they can get a good run here, they should be able to, or at least Ethan Lewis should be able to clear the 67 as that inside lane starting to break up a little bit here. Everybody's starting to gravitate towards the outside lane now, and that's really helping out Ethan Lewis in the 66. Definitely a unique racetrack, no doubt about it. It's not a track that I think the Chick-fil-A Cup Series or any major Napa Fan Series will ever come to, because it is 3 miles long, and it's a little unrealistic. I mean, there isn't a place like this in real life. It's still a good track. Don't get me wrong. The racing here is very good and clean usually. But I don't think we'll ever really see the Chick-fil-A Cup Series here. It's just not my cup of tea for a racetrack. But Nathan decided to bring the Big One here to Pensacola. Still think that's a great decision. It's a great track here. And, you know, it's interesting. A guy can stay up front here at Pensacola. Really makes things interesting. And that'll definitely make things interesting when we get the main event. The main event's going to be very unique because we're going to have 40 cars on the racetrack for that Big One main event. More than any other race that's been run in any other league. I mean, the most that any race is going to have prior to the main event is 11 cars. All these LCQs this weekend going to be featuring that, so definitely going to be interesting to see how it all goes down with 40 cars on the racetrack next week. But definitely looking forward to what Nathan brings us on the NIRA Channel for the NR2003 Big One. And one driver from this LCQ here will join him. Ethan Lewis, though, has led the past few laps on number 66, looking really strong. Jamison Thal, though, going to bring Thomas Trossel with him on the inside lane. Sam Adio's been everywhere in the race so far. Johnny Andrews, really haven't seen too much of him in this one. But he's trying to work his way through the field here in the number 57. Sam Adeo's going to have help from Brady Wilmington right there. Number 62, Matt Tuck at the back of the field as well. And all these guys right on each other here at Pensacola. Next time by, it will be 6 laps to go here in the NR2003 Big One LCQ for Team NOFSRL. And Ethan Lewis, number 66, has never won a race on Napa Fan before, and like I mentioned with the heats last week, these do not count as official Napa Fan wins. But Ethan Lewis, NOFSRL member, would love to represent the league in the NR2003 Big One. Of course, we have Matt Tuck, Trey Wright as well as NOFSRL members looking to represent the league, so it's going to be unique to see how it all goes down. And speaking of Matt Tuck, oh my goodness, what a move by the 53. He just asserted himself right to the inside. He's got help from Zachary Fitzwater, and from the 7th position, he is going to take the race lead with 5 laps to go here at Pensacola. What a move by Matt Tuck there. And that's going to shuffle Ethan Lewis out of the way. Now Fitzwater is here in the 2nd position. And you got the number 60 machine there of Nikolai Sykes, 67 of Braden Perez, Trey Wright, and Nicholas Amity on the inside lane. But Matt Tuck had such a huge run to the inside, made it 4 wide, and then got to the race lead, all in just 2 corners. Matt Tuck, I'm sure he'd love to win this one. He's had a lot of bad luck lately in the NOFSRL. Which obviously indicates we don't play favorites here. We love Matt Tuck in the NOFSRL, but my goodness, he does not do well in a lot of our races. Fitzwater, though, he does good no matter where he's at. To the inside for the race lead. 4 laps to go. Braden Perez, Trey Wright, Nicholas Samadio on this inside lane. It truly is still anybody's race here in this LCQ, but only the winner advances on. Here comes Perez. The 2 biggest dark horses in this race are Wilmington and Perez, 67-62. But they still have just as good of a shot in moving on as the rest of the field. Here we go, 64. Thomas Strauss is trying to work to the inside of Samuel, couldn't quite do it. Matt Tuck gets shuffled out of line. We'll have to see if he can make that bold move again to the inside to get back to the race lead before the end of the race. 3 laps to go this time by. John Andrews is there. Here comes Sam Adeolu to the inside for the race lead with 3 to go. This is going to get really interesting. Samadio now holding on. Nicholas Samadio, one of the most storied drivers in there in 2003, especially on Napa Fan. A 2-time Indianapolis 250 champion, a Daytona 500 champion, an IndyCar champion, an 18-time winner. Heck, he won earlier today in the Haas IndyCar Series at Portland. But will he win today? Thomas Troxel does not want that to happen. To the inside for the race lead. It's now Troxel leading the race. Braden Perez got back to the inside. Here comes the 57 of John Andrews. Andrews has been exceptionally quiet in this one, but he's going to make it 3 wide to the inside for the race lead. 2 laps to go here at Pensacola in the NR2003 Big One LCQ for Team NOFSRL. Number 60 machine. Looking to the inside here. We'll have to see what Nikolai Sykes can do. We'll have to see if Ethan Lewis can get back up there. He led a few laps consecutively right there. And here comes Matt Tuck. We saw that bold move he made earlier on in the race. Trey Wright as well. All 3 of the NOFSRL members in this race all in a line right with each other, pushing Nikolai Sykes to the race lead. And coming to the white flag here in the NR2003 Big One LCQ. Nikolai Sykes, 1 lap to go. Ethan Lewis, will he be able to clear Tuck entering turn 1? He will be able to. And Ethan Lewis is still going to have a shot at getting on to the main event. But Matt Tuck, number 70, Trey Wright, all looking to do the same. And don't count out Fitzwater. If things get crazy enough, that 59 could find his way to the race lead. There goes Ethan Lewis. There goes Matt Tuck. Will he make it 3 wide entering turn number 3? It looks like Matt Tuck has the nose. He doesn't. Ethan Lewis gonna clear to the inside. But will Matt Tuck have a shot at the 66? It's gonna be between Lewis and Tuck for this final transfer spot. Only the winner makes it on. Who will it be coming off of turn number 4? Ethan Lewis, Matt Tuck. It's Ethan Lewis winning the LCQ, and he will represent the NOFSRL team in the 2020 NR2003 Big One here from Pensacola. Ethan Lewis, last lap pass, led the most laps, deservingly the winner here at Pensacola. He'll get it done here today at the Pensacola International Speedway, and he'll be racing next week along with Josh King, Owen Miles. Sadly, John Andrews didn't make it on. Stuart Gratton and Colton Yo. It's King, Miles, Gratton, Yo, and Lewis, the 5 guys advancing on in the NOFSRL team for the 2020 Enter 2003 Big One. What a race right there, all over the place. Average speed of 228.529 miles per hour. It got a little wild right there, no doubt about it. Matt Tuck almost had it, just couldn't get it. Jamison Fall, Nikolai Sykes, Zachary Fitzwater, Trey Wright, Nicholas Samedeo, Brady Wilmington, Braden Perez, Thomas Troxel, John Andrews. That's your full field here from the Pensacola Super Speedway. Ethan Lewis makes it on here, and he will represent the team for NOFSRL in the NR 2003 Big One next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and check out Nathan's channel, NIRA, for the broadcast of the main event next weekend. Hope you guys stick around and enjoy that. It should be a great production there for those guys, and we're looking forward to see who gets it done in this big race. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Ethan Lewis advancing on here in the LCQ, and I will see you guys later.